Welcome to NFL Free Agency Day 3, and the new league begins today. Of course, the 2026 NFL season begins today. All free agency signings that happen on Monday and Tuesday and trades that happened before today are now official. So I'm going to talk about some signings that happened during the new league phase. So let's begin with NFL free agency day 3. So Arizona are bringing back Bam Knight to a 1-year deal, which is a big time pickup for the Cardinals to bring back. Of course, they did sign Tyler Algier. They got James Conner in the mix. There we go. So adding another running back in the mix will probably give them depth at the position. Falcons got a pass rusher, former Eagles pass rusher Aziz Ojulari to a 1-year deal. But the biggest story came earlier this morning after the Ravens lost Max Crosby because the Ravens backed down on the trade. They got his replacement, well, not replacement, but getting one of the top free agents in this year's market, Trey Hendrickson, to a 4-year, $112 million deal. Now, Eric DeCosta, during the press conference, had an idea where they were going to make a duo with Max Crosby on one side and Trey Hendrickson on the other side. And if that were to happen, the Ravens could make a Super Bowl run and win it all in 2026. But they missed it out on Max Crosby, but at least they got Trey Hendrickson. And this is interesting because now look at the division we're looking at. Steelers got TJ Watt, the Browns got Myles Garrett, the Bengals got Shamar Stewart, and now the Ravens have Trey Hendrickson, and he is going to deliver a lot of sacks. I do believe the Ravens are going to win the division this year because last year it was a step back, probably injuries that affected last year. But with a new coach and Jesse Minter, I believe he can get something out of Trey Hendrickson. Also, they re-signed Chidobe Awuzie to a 1-year, $5 million deal, and they signed former Patriots safety Jalen Hawkins to a 2-year, $10 million deal. So he'll be alongside Kyle Hamilton on the other side. So that's going to be interesting to see. Bills have signed a pass rusher. They finally made a big move after the DJ Moore trade. They are signing former Dolphins edge rusher Bradley Chubb to a 3-year, $43.5 million deal, $29 million guaranteed. So remember, Joey Bosa is on free agency, so doesn't look like they're going to re-sign him. So they do bring in Bradley Chubb to fill that hole. And my only concern for Bradley Chubb is going to be his injuries. He's been suffering some injuries through his career. And going to Buffalo, I think Joe Brady is going to wants everyone to stay healthy for the 2026 season. And we'll see. I do think Jim Linhart, as the defense coordinator, he's going to have his hands full with Bradley Chubb because he's a great edge rusher, just like Trey Hendrickson. But for Bradley Chubb, he's going to have a little only concern is his injuries. So if he can stay healthy, he might end up getting a 10.5 sack year. Panthers signing former Jets wide receiver John Mechie to a 1-year deal. John Mechie, the third, reunites with Bryce Young, who they both played in Alabama. So this is a great reunion there. Lions are releasing Joshua Pascal. Packers are signing former Vikings defensive tackle Javon Hargrave to a 2-year, $23 million deal to get their defensive tackle fixed, which I think that's a great pickup for the Packers. Texans signed Foster Moreau. They also released Mario Edwards. Colts make the big one. So remember, Daniel Jones got the transactional tag. Now they got the deal. Daniel Jones is signing a 2-year, $88 million deal with $100 million in dividends. So I would have given him a 3-year deal because probably with that 1 year, he'll be injured. He's going to be out for at least maybe um, the first half of the season. So, but Daniel Jones gets his big paycheck. He earned it, well deserved. But get healthy, man, because Colts fans want Indiana Jones back. All right, Jacksonville are signing Chris Rodriguez Jr. from the Commanders to a 2-year, $10 million deal, 6.2 guaranteed, and it's worth up to $12 million. Now, Chris Edwards Jr. is probably going to end up being the backup for Brayshawn Tootin, who is now the new starter running back for the Jaguars. But again, I do think Jacksonville will have this running back room situated. Now, they did lose Travis Etienne, who's now with the Saints. I do think Brayshawn Tootin is going to be their RB1 for right now, unless they do something on free agency or throughout the draft. Raiders are bringing back Malcolm Crunch to a 1-year, $11 million deal. They're signing Matt Gay, the former Commanders kicker. He's joining the Raiders. Miami brings in linebacker Josh Uche to a 1-year deal, as well as bringing in Darrell Baker Jr., their defensive back. The Vikings will revisit Aaron Jones' contract. So therefore, Aaron Jones is not going to free agency. He is coming back to Green Bay for a revisit to his contract. Probably it's going to be a restricted contract, which probably would make sense. Harrison Smith, by the way, has been released from the Vikings, and he is going to be a free agent. And after a long time with the Vikings, now it's time for him to find a new home. Also, Jonathan Allen also got released by the Vikings, so we'll see if he ends up landing a new home. Patriots signing safeties Mike Brown from the Titans and former Bears safety and interception leader Kevin Byron to a 1-year, $9 million deal. I love this signing for the Patriots to bring in a safety in the mix with Kevin Byron. He is going to, of course, replace Jalen Hawkins, who left to Baltimore. So I do believe they want to upgrade this Zach Kerr defense with this safety right there in Kevin Byron. Giants are bringing back Evan Neal, so he'll probably slide in at the guard position. Jets are signing former Raiders guard Dylan Parham to a 2-year, $20 million deal, which is a big-time paycheck for a guard who's now going to the Jets, a team that is rebuilding their offensive line. 49ers got some this big one. This was a big one. The Cowboys are trading Osi Odigizua to the San Francisco 49ers in exchange for this year's 3rd-round pick. So Odigizua will join that defensive line for the 49ers, which, by the way, look at that defense right now. Odigizua, Nick Bosa, Fred Warner. That defense is going to be looking good with Odigizua at the D-line position. Jake Tongas gets a 2-year, $8 million deal, $5.5 million guaranteed. Former Panthers defensive tackle A'Shawn Robinson, who was released yesterday, is joining the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to a 1-year, $10 million deal. Another Cowboys trade. Yay! The Cowboys are just giving up all their best players to these other good teams. But this one they are trading Solomon Thomas to the Tennessee Titans in exchange for a 7th-round pick swap. So I'm guessing they're swapping 7th-round picks. So Solomon Thomas now joins a new defensive line group that is going to be coached by Robert Saleh. And for the Cowboys, I don't know what you guys are up to. Finally, the Washington Commanders, they've been doing business, by the way. They signed Nick Cross, former Colts safety, to a 2-year, $14 million deal. They recently signed Chiefs pass rusher Charles Anulia to a 1-year, $7 million deal. Former Titans tight end Chico Zenom Okumura. Sorry, I don't pronounce those names, but he is signing a 3-year, $30 million deal. And former Patriots edge rusher Kavion Chason signing a 1-year, $12 million deal. I thought he would probably come back to New England for maybe 3 more years, but the Patriots signed Draymond Jones, and that probably signals that his time in New England comes to an end. So he is going to the Commanders to get the pass rush fixed up. That's it for NFL Free Agency Day 3. If you have not seen my other 2 videos from Day 1 and Day 2, currently they are now uploaded. They are now in the channel, so if you have not seen them, go check them out on my channel. Of course, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell for more sports news.